Could we have Mark Christensen and Amy Carter for the Banks Peninsula Conservation Trust, please?
Good morning, councillors. I'm Mark Christensen. I chair the trustees of the Conservation Trust. With me is Amy Carter, one of the trustees. Firstly, I'd like to, on behalf of the trust, gratefully acknowledge the support that the council has been giving the trust for quite some time. That's very much a baseline support for us, and we're very grateful for that. We believe that the trust enjoys widespread community support amongst our area, which is all of the Banks Peninsula area plus all of the Port Hills to the base of the hills. We think that's for two reasons. One, we work with landowners on a non-challenging and empowering way to provide them support to look after their properties. And secondly, we operate in a collaborative way. In some ways, a little bit of a glue between landowners and agencies and other organisations. So we think we have good standing within the community working with those landowners. As you know, we have a covenanting program. We believe that we are the only organisation in the country that has powers to covenant private land in perpetuity, other than, of course, the QE2 Elizabeth Trust and councils in the department. And to date, we have some 67 covenants across the peninsula and the Port Hills, about 1,500 hectares in place, and we've got 16 covenants actively being progressed. So we think that covenanting is a good biodiversity bang for the dollar in looking after high priority areas for biodiversity, and that fits in with the work that the council has been doing on the sites of ecological significance. So in the papers, you'll see that there are 7 things that the trust seeks from the council and through this long-term plan. The first is, of course, a continued and indeed strengthened through inflation adjustment commitment to that ongoing protection work through the MOU that we have with the council. Currently $50,000 a year. We look forward to that continuing. The second thing is that we're very much in support of the proposal that the council has in the long-term plan for the biodiversity fund of $200,000 for landowners undertaking biodiversity protection. That's a great initiative which we support, and we look forward to working with you on that. The third thing relates to one of the initiatives in the Banks Peninsula ecological vision, and that's around a pest-free Banks Peninsula and Port Hills. And you will have seen in your attached to the submission is a draft memorandum of understanding that the Conservation Trust has convened a working group to work on how such an initiative might be delivered, and we'd very much like the council to participate and look forward to working with the council on that. So we're hoping that the Minister of Conservation will be able to sign that along with other leaders, maybe in August or September. We'd very much like the council to join with us on that. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing, in terms of actually delivering the pest-free initiative for Banks Peninsula, we need to develop an operational plan. We have a strategic plan, a strategic direction. But one of the first things we need to do is how would we play that out in the next 5 years in the wider context? And so we're looking for some funding for a minimum of $50,000, really to get some consultants' expert advice on how we do that. So that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing is that we would seek a commitment from the city to ensure that your policy and operational decisions around pest control within Banks Peninsula and the Port Hills are aligned with the strategic direction of that pest-free initiative. And sixthly, we're looking for a specific contribution of $40,000 annually to take the first thing that we need to do in this pest-free initiative, which is to get rid of goats, feral goats on the peninsula. We're already some distance down the track. There's been hundreds of thousands of dollars spent already. We need to get rid of them, and we need to do that in a very sophisticated and strategic way. So we're needing some funding for that. And then lastly, we'd like to work with the council in scaling up the dissemination of animal pest traps and training events across the area for landowners to really upskill them and educate them on how they may be able to contribute and participate in that wider initiative. So those are the 7 things that we're after. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you. Do we have questions? Yanni, Andrew?
Yeah, just 2 questions. One is, has the Memorandum of Understanding been finalised and signed?
No, we're hoping to do that in August or September.
Right. Is it anticipated that that will come to council?
I'm hoping it will. I believe it's got as far as your legal team.
Right. Okay. And the second question was, and thank you for the work that you're doing. You know, it's fantastic. Have you had any involvement or any consideration of Te Oka Reserve?
Not specifically, although we one of our initiatives in the ecological vision is to have at least 4 large areas of regenerating forest, and Peniwai and over the back of Akaros first. We're thinking about what initiative on the Port Hills. Te Oka might fit into that category as well. So we're very keen to discuss about how we might be able to assist regeneration within that reserve.
Right, but you're not having any direct conversations in that regard at the moment?
It hasn't advanced at all, no.
Okay, thank you.
Andrew?
Feral goats is one of the key planks of your submission, and clearly there's a lot of good work has been done, and your trust has been a big supporter of that. What damage do feral goats do to biodiversity? Like, if this work wasn't happening, what would the result be?
Well, they eat it, and they eat basically everything. Yeah. And so, you know, we always hear about stoats and rats and possums, which of course do a whole lot, but we can do a whole lot of regeneration and a whole lot of planting. But goats and deer are another one, but goats in particular, you know, just graze everything off to sort of 6 inches and can just completely destroy all the work that's gone on.
So with 5 hotspots remaining, the danger is that those hotspots, you know, I mean, goats obviously breed quite prolifically. The danger is that the goats would just spread out over the rest of the peninsula again from those hotspots if further eradication work didn't occur?
Yes. I think one of the real difficulties, of course, is if you've got to get absolutely eradicated, the 100%, because it seems to be that if you only get 99%, then invariably the last goat remaining is a pregnant female. So they just, and they explode.
And they're cunning. So there's actually quite a specialist skill set to hunt down to a point of eradication. And the people that are best in the world to do it actually come from Malta or somewhere obscure. That's a really defined skill set.
Anne?
Hi. Hi, Mark. We had a submission yesterday from Marie Gray, who was the Summit Road Society. So how much do you link in with those wee groups that are also doing similar work?
Yeah, well, particularly on this pest-free initiative, we've convened a working group which is looking to plan the whole thing. So Summit Road are very much part of that.
Great part of that.
So we're looking to help Summit Road and other groups with the work they're doing. We're not replacing it. We're just trying to work smarter and more efficiently together.
Right, yes, because they're suggesting a management plan, Port Hills management plan is an idea that, you know, to bring everybody together. That sounds good. Yes, well, we have been talking about that whole area about how do we more effectively manage that area and just make sure that we're all linked up much better. Best use of resources and things. Yeah, great. That's good. Thanks.
Good. Vicky?
You mentioned that our strategy on getting rid of pests should align with the pest-free strategy you're doing. How does it not align?
I don't know how it doesn't align. What's important is that we make sure that it continues to align.
Okay.
Yep. Aaron?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of goats, but they don't belong on Banks Peninsula or in any native bush. So if you get one, I'll take a little one to my place, because since Trevor the goat died, it's been a bit lonely around home. So I'll take a baby, but the rest can peacefully rest.
Well, actually, we out in the Little Akaloa area, we did a cull before, not a cull, muster before they went shooting. So, but they've all left. So next time we'll remember.
We'll remember because nobody else wanted them, so you've
Yep.
got one.
I'll call it Aaron.
Yeah. But thank you very much, and thank you very much for what you're doing as well, and thank you for the vision too. It's great. Thank you.